Good afternoon, everybody. Painblade back here again from Server 1, representing ISC and Tribes Lab. Guys, so I know I said I'd rest on the weekends and not put out videos, but you know what? Sometimes you just can't help yourself because you got a lot of things going on in the game. And I decided, you know what? Let's take a few minutes while I have the time and actually put together a new Limit Break 2 video for the new characters that have their Limit Break 2s. So this was actually interesting because they've actually released a lot of Limit Break 2s for characters that are actually currently out on a banner, which rarely happens because there's no way for you to get the weapon fragments. So what I wanted to do is go through the limit breaks, guys, explain to you what the new ones are, which ones you should be gunning for, and which ones are the best ones currently out for the characters that are actually out for release. So let's get into it, and we will start off with our boy Itachi. Now Itachi already has a pretty insane limit break. Has a pretty insane trait skill, but now the limit break boosts it even further. To make things even crazier, this is probably the longest description of any trait I've ever seen in my life. So let's look into it. So check this out. It's like literally Bandai's writing you a novel. So if you guys are looking for a thesis or an essay, you got one right here. But what it does is actually really interesting. So originally what he does right now is if you kill somebody, he increases his damage increase rate and also boosts his own damage reduction rate. But with the Limit Break 2 now, he actually increases his own critical damage rate as well too, and boosts his own critical suppression rate. That is nuts. So essentially what Itachi lacked more than anything was critical damage. It was hard for him to crit because his stats, I think his crit stat was like only 29 to 30%, which is not super high for a 6-star especially. But now with this ability, he's gonna increase his critical suppression rate, which means he has a better chance of critting the opponent. But not only that, but he's also going to be hitting harder because his critical damage is up. Now this lasts for the rest of the battle. So what that means, guys, is every time an opponent dies, right, this will increase and continue increasing. It won't drop. Because it's the rest of the battle, it'll go 8.73 plus 8.73 plus 8.73, etc. up to 8 times until the last opponent is dead. So this will stack to an infinite amount until the opponent's done. So you're going to have insane damage from Itachi already. But with this added on there, it's going to be even crazier. So definitely one of the best ones to come out in the game up to this point, and makes Itachi even more deadly of a nuke than he was before. So highly recommend get this. I will warn you guys, with my luck, it took 68 bentos and 3 days of farming 25 weapon frags just to get this. So I finally got it today. So I was really excited, and I'm very, very, very psyched to try this out on somebody. So that's the first one. So the second one, unfortunately, not quite as exciting. Let's go to Kisame. Where is our boy Kisame? There he is. All right, Mr. Fiststicks himself. Let's see what he's got. So his trait currently does boosts all active allies' damage reduction rate and increases his own chakra by 1696. Now his limit break, on the other hand, adds a little more to it. So you can go a few effects. His new limit break lowers all active enemies' critical rate if the user is active at the start of the turn. Now this doesn't seem like much, guys, but if you're fighting a crit team, which is a very popular team right now, this can actually help a little bit. It'll essentially lower their crit rate. That's a flat percentage. So unlike critical suppression, which is a fraction of the percentage, so when you guys see like critical suppression 7.6%, it doesn't mean it reduces it by 7.6% or increases your chance by 7.6%. It's a fraction out of 100%, right? So this, on the other hand, is a flat rate, which is much, much better. So this will actually reduce it. Now the amount I don't know because I haven't unlocked yet. I could, but I haven't been spending Ryo on it. But once you guys get that, it's something. So if somebody can report to me and let me know on Discord, that'd be fantastic. But actually, not a bad trait. So not the best thing. Doesn't make him any better. I mean, it does make him a little better, but it doesn't make him outstanding in any way. So Kisame is kind of like a mediocre one, but this actually does help with crit teams. He has a tank, and he does reduce chakra, but having the extra added bonus of reducing critical rate, not a bad thing. So definitely, if you like Kisame, get this. It's not bad. All right, so next one we got here. This is an odd one, Hiruzen. So I don't know how many people actually have him leveled or even start up, but you know what? The third Hokage doesn't get enough love in this game, and it's kind of unfortunate because he's actually one of my favorite characters in the show with the limited amount of time that he was around. But he's got a lot of lore and is considered one of the greatest shinobis of all time. So let's take a look here. So his Limit Break 2... Actually, you know what? Let's go back and take a look at his actual skill. So decreases all enemies' chakra by 1,800 at the start of the turn after he's been defeated. I mean, it's kind of useless, to be honest. He has to die for this to take into effect, and I hate effects like that because you lose a member in order to just a minimal amount of chakra. Now this 1,800 obviously goes up as you level them up and increase the skill, but it still wouldn't be enough to make a difference. So let's see what the LB2 does. So the LB2 here will increase all allies' chakra at the start of the turn after he's been defeated. So not only does he now reduce the chakra of the enemy, but he also increases yours. Again, pretty mediocre. I wish they did a better job with him. But yeah, guys, I wouldn't really focus on this unless you love him and you have him pretty leveled up. I don't think it's worth doing personally. All right, so next one. Another shop character, Dario. Now, his is actually really good. Boosts all active allies' damage reduction rate by 22% as soon as he's at the start of the turn. He also boosts attack by 9% for all defense shinobi. So it makes defense shinobis a little more nuky, right? But what he does now with his Limit Break 2 is do something even better. He also includes the ability now to increase damage increase rate for all defense shinobi. So before it was only attack, but now it's DIR as well, which is incredible. So he has now gotten even better than he already is. So if you guys have him leveled, and I know a lot of you do like him, have him leveled up, definitely aim for this. It's worth it. He is an outstanding character for people who want to use tank teams. So definitely one of the better ones. All right, so let's go back to another Akatsuki member now. Someone who's been getting a lot of attention lately because of being the best crit character out there for support, Deidara, and he is actually probably one of the best characters now with his Limit Break 2. So originally what he did is he increased everyone's critical rate damage, like this is all allies for the rest of the battle, by 20.84%. That is mind-blowing. That was his regular trait. His new trait also decreases or boosts all allies' critical suppression rate by 17.92% for the rest of the battle. So that is stackable, guys. So if you have someone like Itachi who's already increasing his own by 8.92%, this adds to it. So that percentage now is around 20 something. So that fraction now increases, right? So now you're doing way more damage. And there's no clause here. Like you just need to have him on your team and he'll do it instantly. So this makes him even better than he was before. I would actually put him as one of the top tier characters now, hands down, for any team. So Deidara, highly recommended. He and Itachi probably the top two at the moment. Deidara is probably right below. And then now the last Akatsuki member here that got a little bit of love. But again, it's another death one, I think. It's Sasori. So let's go to Sasori here. Where are you? There you are. Mr. Puppet Master himself. High as a kite. But let's take a look at his builder. Now, he lowers all enemies' defense by 62.25% at the start of the turn after he's been defeated, and this lasts for the rest of the battle. So that's key. This one at least lasts for the rest of the battle, so the opponent will have that little defense. Now, his new Limit Break 2 actually adds another layer of defense down to it, or not defense down, sorry, another trait down. Now it lowers all damage reduction rate, which is huge because damage reduction rate is a multiplier, right? So if you have a ton of defense and your damage reduction rate is super high, you're going to be almost unstoppable to kill, like Naruto Hokage, for example. But now he lowers the defense, so the multiplier obviously is lower, and now he lowers the multiplier even further, so now you're hitting these in any other unit for a lot more. So this is definitely something I recommend, especially for PvE. Highly recommended for PvE, so get this one up. I'm going to be focusing on that very soon. So Sasori, definitely one of the better ones. Alright, so Chiyo. Oh, Chiyo, you made my week by pulling you 4 times just to get Hidan. Alright. So she got a little fix recently. I think they fixed her healing ability a little bit. They increased it, but now her Limit Break 2 does something extra. So she's still a very, very limited character in terms of her abilities. So Sand Advisor has 2 different... It's very situational. So if she's first in the turn, she'll do healing, right? If she's anywhere last in the turn, she'll do damage reduction rate. Her Limit Break 2 adds another layer to that. So her Limit Break 2 boosts all active allies' guard rate if going last. So now if she's last, she's not healing, but she's increasing your damage reduction rate, plus also boosting your guard rate. To be honest, it's not that bad. If you use her, God bless her soul, like you have another reason to use her now. She's actually not bad for the Limit Break, but it's also extremely situational. So for PvE, this has gone out the window, right? Because it's random. PvP, it's got obviously a little more utility because you control where the placement is. But if one of your cellmates die, you're in the middle now, so like you're not getting what you want. So again, it's good and it's bad, right? So I mean, use your own caution on that one, guys. Okay, so next one's Sakura. So that was the other banner of that one. So Sakura Blossom specifically we're talking about. Let's go down here. Here we are. Now she's actually pretty good. She currently increases chakra rate on her 4th skill. Let's look into it. So see, she boosts all active allies damage reduction rate by 26.3% when she's active. She also increases chakra by 1219. And then on top of that, now she increases more chakra every time an ally has been defeated. So it's actually pretty good, especially for PvE purposes. She's going to be fantastic to help you out to continue getting chakra. So she's not as good as Tsunade for chakra giving, but she does a lot more, right? She gives you like healing, just like Tsunade does, but she also gives you tribe gauge, which Tsunade does not. So not a bad trait. I mean, it increases her stats if you get her up, but this is not a necessity for a trait. It's decent for an LB2. Okay, and then lastly, Naruto and Karin, I think. Oh no, there's a few more, sorry. Naruto, we have Maverick Showstopper, boosts his own attack right now, and boosts his own defense when an ally has been defeated, right? So this is, again, an ally has been defeated one, which isn't the worst thing, because in PvP it does happen. Now he actually increases his damage, increase reduction rate, and damage reduction rate when an ally has been defeated. So now he's becoming like the ultimate self-buffer. He pretty much buffs everything, so makes Naruto even better. The problem with him is that if you weren't getting his weapons during the event, there's no way to get them right now. So I'm actually stuck with the last one here. I can't get these. Nobody can unless you've had extra 25. So Bandai really needs to fix that so we can actually get this guy leveled up and done. But as you can see, the stats go up quite a bit still. So like, it'd be nice to have this done. But yeah, great limit break. If you have the extra 25, definitely use it and get it up. Now, Karin, oh man, what a waste. You know, I thought maybe this limit break 2 would have made her better, but it did nothing for her, to be honest. So let's look at it. So currently, you know, like, especially being a UR healer, one of the things you'd think is they'd make her kit even better, but they didn't. So recovers HP of the lowest ally by 85.79% of her attack, which is fantastic, actually. So if you use her and you have a ton of attack, she heals for a lot every turn. Now the problem with her limit break 2, though, let's go into it, is that it boosts damage reduction rate for an ally attack shinobi for the rest of the battle. So, you know, like, here's the thing. Oh, sorry, with the person with the lowest HP for the spell, like, it's great, but it's only one individual unit. So like, you have to use her multiple times and keep her alive for this to kick in. So that kind of makes it mediocre, right? If she was like giving it to a whole cell, that'd be great. So you do 3 units at a time, or, you know, active allies 3 units at a time, but she's giving it to the lowest HP every single time. So that means you have to use Karin eight times before she buffs up everybody, and hopefully those all other units are their lowest HP. So it's not very good. I wouldn't personally focus on it, and I have not been personally doing it either. So, all right, so the last 3 guys are the new units. Now this is strange because you obviously cannot access their weapon fragments, so you can't get their LB2s anyway. So it's kind of odd that they did this. I don't know if it was a mistake or if it's purposeful, but hey, you know what? Let's look into it. Now Asuma already has an incredible trait, right? He buffs damage reduction rate for all active allies, plus his own guard rate up for the rest of the battle, which is incredible. But now on top of that, what he gives you is he boosts all active allies guard rate and guard damage rate. Now that's huge, guys, for active allies. The reason why that's huge is that's pretty much what Gaara does for his special jutsu. So now he's doing it on a trait. So every time he's active, he's going to give everybody guard rate up plus guard damage reduction rate, which makes him literally one of the best tanks in the game. So if you don't have Asuma, or if you do have him, get him up, guys. You will not regret it. He will be one of your best characters out there for sure as a tank. So the only problem is, of course, is getting his limit break 2s and getting him to 6 stars at the moment, which you can with the event if you put a couple fragments into him, or if you've got the 4-star pull. Okay, so highly recommend Asuma. Kakuzu is the other one. Kakuzu is such a broken unit. He's probably one of the best units in the game in terms of damage. But what his current one does is boost his own attack by 14.34% every time an enemy has been defeated for the rest of the battle. So this stacks like Itachi's, right? It continues to grow every time you beat an enemy. But now on top of that, guys, he's also increasing his own damage increase rate for the rest of the battle every time an enemy has been defeated. So he is now becoming one of the ultimate attack units in the game, especially for AoE. So he is highly recommended, guys. Get him up. This is one of the best banners to ever come out for this game, where all 3 units are extremely powerful. So especially the 2 SRs, they shine better than the UR. And then the last unit, guys, is Hidan. Now, Hidan here currently does the following. Boosts all active allies damage reduction rate by 22% if he's active at the start of the turn, and then he boosts all ally status effect suppression rate by 6%. Now this goes up to 7.4%, but again, it's a suppression. It's only a fraction. It's not the full 7.4 flat percent. So you got to take, let's say 15%. Let's say 50% is considered 100%. It takes away 7.4% of 15. At 100% rate, it's probably like 1% off, right? So it's still something, but it's not a lot. But it's a unique skill that just come out, so it will increase it'll decrease the ability of the opponent to be able to stun you. So it's still a really good thing to have, especially at the higher percentages. But now with his limit break, on top of that, he adds on damage reduction rate for all attack shinobi for the rest of the battle. That's the limitation. It's only attack shinobis, but it lasts for the rest of the battle. So he will continue to boost damage reduction rate for all A nuke units. So Kakuzu, Itachi, Hebi, Kakashi, Naruto, UR, right? All of your A units will benefit from this. So great unit, but the two SRs definitely shine. Well, that's it, guys. I think that covers everything, essentially. The spreadsheet that you guys are all aware of at this point is always linked to my description. It's been updated. Thank you to Dash, again, for doing that for me. If you guys ever need to refer to anyone's Limit Break 2s, they're all on there and what's required to get them. This is Pain, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and Kakuzu Showcase will be coming soon. Take care.